So I made this build a little while ago. Basically, it makes everything ignite with one rope dart. One single rope dart can do. And then you just catch it, and if you get enough kills, you get it back. So I'll explain the build. First, you want to go to your prismatic hunter. It doesn't really matter super, but first of all, you have to have threaded spike. It bounces between them, and you can catch it and refund melee. Then gunpowders, so you can get a charged explosion when you get those kills. Stylish, so each one of those kills make you invisible and weakens on the next one. Then you do Facet of Hope, so when you have an elemental buff, your class regens faster. So when you pick up an orb, I get restoration because I'm running solar. And then powered melee hits against targets make you radiant. This ties into Facet of Hope. And this makes the ignitions way bigger. I'll explain how the ignitions are happening in a second. Now, melee final blows start health regen. That's Facet of Blessing. So basically, copy these down, and it'll pretty much be fine. You really should use Gamblers. There's nothing really better for this. And then, let's go to the class item. This is probably the most important part of the build. First of all, Caliban is the most important part. You can do anything, it just makes your powered melees make an explosion. Don't run the real Caliban, because it doesn't really help with this. I choose Simp, though, because it does 100 and I think 65 melee damage when you're surrounded, so if you have 3 people close to you, 3 enemies. You can go for other ones, but I think, in my opinion, this is the best. Now, there's 2 artifacts you can use. Hunter's Journal for solar fulmination, radiant orbs, and pretty much, Shield Crushed is very important for this, because while you have Frost Armor, Woven Mail, your melee recharges faster and does more damage, which is really helpful with this build. Now, that's not the main one, because I honestly don't think it's as good as this one. Implant of Curiosity is the artifact. So we're going to be using Refresh Threads, so picking up an elemental product, so a Fire Sprite or a Tangle, gains energy to your least powered ability. Rapid Precision hit Solar, grant Radiant, and Rapid Precision with with Stasis weapons, grant Frost Armor, right? Then Semi-Auto Striker. Now this ties into the weapons I'll show in a second. Battery's Darkness is just good all round, especially with this melee, since you can melee like a champion and then hit him with Solar and do a ton of damage. Melee Coalescence, so defeating targets has a chance to create an elemental pickup, which is very good. But this is a very important thing. Creating a tangle by defeating a strand debuff target suspends nearby combatants. Now I'll show what this does since your spike makes a tangle, and Caliban's explodes it, and so it's very good. Now Shield Crushed, Woven Mail, while you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and does increase damage, while you Amplified, Radiant, your grenade does faster. Now you're like, why would I do this? I'm going to be Radiant most of the time. Because you're going to be using a stasis weapon and getting Frost Armor, which then feeds into more melees and increased damage with melees. Now I'm real quick going to show the suspend from the threaded blast. It explodes and immediately strings them up, which is very good for champions, especially on unstoppables, because it can stun them also. They're just hanging in the air and they have no control, which is extremely good. Now the weapons. Honestly, Conspiracy Honed, BL Battler, and Heavy, I'll explain that more at the end, because Heavies, they don't matter as much, but here I'll explain my recommendations in a little. But let's go to mods first. My mods are melee and weapons mainly, and then grenade purely because I want grapple, and then you want hands-on, so more super energy on melee kills. Harmonic, so you rapid solar makes an orb. armor charge, you get more of your melee back. So you'll get your class ability and get more melees, and your powered melees create orbs, which feeds into more. Charged up, two of them, they're really good. Whatever resistance you want. Recuperation, absolution, and stacks on stacks, so you'll get your all your other things reduced. Reaper, bomber, and then distribution. So again, more things to do. Now, one more thing into the weapons. Conspiracy hones is my chest, but you pretty much just need a sniper that is stasis, so Salvation's Edge one will work. Pretty much everyone will work, but this is a really nice one. And pretty much anything with ad clear potential that has a perk for pugilist. And then I'll get into heavies just now. So the heavies, there's a few options with it. So, one of my favorite options for this is 1K. And as you can see a little bit, it's really good for killing champions. It's a meta build it's a meta weapon, I mean, right now. It's extremely good with this build also, because if you pair with gunpowders, you'll sometimes get really good ignitions. And it just melts champions, especially with that Cauterized Darkness perk that I mentioned earlier. It's really good with that perk, and I personally really like it with this. And Stylus Executioner makes them weakened, and it makes it extremely good for this. Plus, if you're going to do a GM or a Unstoppable, look at how easy it stuns them. And they're pretty much dead as soon as you stun them with 1K. It's really good. Like, you can pretty much take a solar build and put 1K on, and it'll be just fine. Now, as sometimes it can kill you, you just gotta be wary of that. And one other thing, it normally won't reload itself, but it's great with this, in my opinion. Now, this is more my least one, but Dragon's Breath. It's pretty good with this build. Not my favorite pick, but still pretty good. You just gotta remember it can sometimes kill yourself. And like here, it's just not the best for taking down champions. It's not that meta, I guess you could say right now. And there's just a little bit of like, it's a little annoying waiting for the Dragon's Breath the bullet to load in sometimes. But like you can kind of see here in a few seconds, it can be good for kind of removing, kind of getting champions down, so their shields down, so you can start hitting them with your barrier or whatever you're using. And the ignitions are nice, like you can see here how it just starts melting everything, partly with the rope dart. But yeah, I would say it's a pretty good option, but there's still some little bad parts about it. Like, you want to make sure you have ×5 up, and the ignitions, especially with your Transcendence, which you will get a lot with this build, and your gunpowders, it'll be really good with that. But, I think it's pretty solid all around. And especially with this build, it's pretty much either hit or miss. It's either really good or pretty, it's in the middle. Now, one of my favorite is this one, Whisper of the Worm. This is one of my personal favorites with this build, and I like it a lot. It's a fun weapon to use. It's always been one of my favorites, especially for champion killing. And with Cauterized, man, it is good. As you can see, as soon as you get Whispering, breathing up, and if you hit those 3 headshots, it refunds your bullets, which is extremely nice. And if you can keep up that 30% damage boost, it is extremely good. But there are a few downsides, but besides that, it's really good. There is, yeah, it's pretty good for pretty much everything in this build. But there is one thing. You just gotta make sure, try your best to keep up whispering breathing. Just stop for a second and make sure you can see it in the corner. Just make sure that, and you'll pretty much be fine for this, and it'll be pretty good. There is one more thing I'd recommend with this build. It is the War Mindset. Final blows with area effect damage, solar abilities, 7 Seraph weapons, or Icolas weapons grant Warmind charges. Each stack of Warmind charges increases your weapons and grenade stats. Now this will be helpful for your weapons plus your grenade, depending on what one you use, but it's still pretty good. Now here's the main part. While you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants, destroying a construct, or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heals allies. Destroying your tangle, aka your severing burst, will make one of these happen. And that's really good with this build. You can get it by doing Master Law sectors, or doing it, or going in the Cosmodrome while it's distorted. And this is pretty much to finish off the build. And in my opinion, it's one of the best things with this. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and bye.